Hey guys, I'm back again with another video. This time we're doing my Endgame showcase. I meant to do a video, but my camera broke. I just fixed it yesterday afternoon, and so, yeah, my surprise figure is Thanos. So, the quantum realm suits will not be present in this video at all, because I didn't feel like making them. I'm just gonna say that. And also, this head that they use for this new AntMan, for the new AntMan figure, I think it looks a lot like Peter Parker from the new Spider-Man PS4 game. Just letting you know that. But yeah, so I am going to see the movie on Sunday. So if you put spoilers, please capitalize it. And if anyone wants to read the comments, read at your own risk, because people are probably watching the movie. So, yeah. So without further ado, let's get to it. So first up with Cap, and I've used this helmet a lot, and this is the first time where I successfully painted an A onto it. And I put blue highlights on it to make it actually look good. And I could not figure out how to put the patch on here for a while, and then I decided to make a whole oval of blue and then paint over that in dark blue. And then you can see that there's a lot of dots here, because that's supposed to represent the scales, and same thing for the shirt. And 3D pockets, shield, you've seen it before. But if we go ahead and do that, you could see that I painted the red everywhere where it's supposed to be. And I painted the blue. And I was looking at my reference photos for this, and it actually doesn't look that bad. It's actually really good. And so I would say this is my best Captain America. The hardest part of making this would have to be the star. That was a real pain in the ass to make. But yeah. So anyways, I wanted to avoid using this whole body because this is actually made for the Civil War suit off of a thing, and then I wanted to avoid using this head and helmet. So what it would have looked like is I would just put it on there like that. So, and anyway, speaking of my first Captain America head, I used that one head. This head. I used this head and I took it from this one, so yeah, it's not that big of a sacrifice, and because I just simply did not have the time for it, and I don't know, I didn't know about using this newer shield. I mean, it looks good. I'll probably give it a try if I keep on doing Captain America suits. But I already made every single one in the MCU, except for the Quantum Realm one, so maybe I'll make that one. But I won't be using this. So, yeah. And, Captain America, Steve Rogers, Nomad, Cap, Chris Evans. He's probably gonna die. Iron Man, which is my second best Iron Man, and I'll pull the helmet off right now. So yeah, this helmet I did not do anything except for painting the lines in between the mouth right here. Painted the black right here, and then this had a little scratches of gold on the chin piece, so I painted that in gold. Or non-gold and dark metallic red, and you could see that these two are different colors, and you could see that. And you could see I painted in the HUD with various designs. I did not use the new Tony Stark head that was debuted last year. Putting this, I really think that for this type of head, not for the newer one, I think the new one deserves that hairpiece that was in the new set. I think this one is worth with the Superman hairpiece. So yeah. And so yeah. So, anyways, the arc reactor was painted. That was hard to make. Then the chest is sculpted to the front, so it could be like how the suits are. I didn't feel like it was worth sculpting on the arms. But yeah, the way that I did this for both this and the leg, for the arms and legs, is I painted black, then I painted gray, then I painted light gray, then I painted gold. And that took forever, so make sure there's a fan blowing on it when you put gold, because I just put like a thick layer of gold. And the legs are, because of that thick layer of gold, the legs are no longer posable, so I can't move the legs on this figure. I can move the arms on the figure. And by the way, the base of it was actually the Mark 43, and yeah, I didn't feel like painting back on here, so kind of trying out to end that. Thor, the king of the people of Asgard, and so yeah, and just to get this out of the way, you've seen the Stormbreaker before. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to look for a bricklink seller that could actually make a Stormbreaker that's custom-made like that. And you've seen the head before. It's from the set, from the Infinity War sets. I have not got the new Endgame sets yet. I only got 3. But yeah, this cape is made by a bricklink seller. I don't know which one though. It might be Cape Madness, it might be not. I forgot which one it was from. But the arms are actually just metallic arms that I used. I didn't paint them. I didn't feel like there was a need to. Then the legs are painted in with gloss and metallic paint. And then so yeah. And so, yeah, the torso was painted. It was really hard to do. Nothing on the back, painting on the legs. So, yeah. So, now I will be assembling the figure. And, I dropped the camera right there. Who cares? So, yeah. Just assembling the figure. I would usually cut this out, or I might just forget. So, yeah. So, yeah, there he is, Thor. 50-50 chance of him dying. Iron Man is probably gonna die too, besides Captain America. So, yeah. Hawkeye or Ronin, I don't care. But, starting off with this, the head is the Age of Ultron head, and I painted the mustache and beard on it. The hair was originally a sleepy hair piece like that. It's sanded and modified to be what you see here. So, yeah. And, the sword, you've seen it before. It was in my last Ronin blade that I did. The arm, I taped tape around it and then cut it up to be the way you see it. So, then, you see this is made out of cardstock. And then the torso is one of my favorite parts of it. I mean, the back is not perfect. But, yeah. So, yeah, this is not accurate. And then the legs are not accurate either. I didn't really have a lot of reference because Marvel was doing that, so yeah. So anyways. Hawkeye, he's not gonna die, I could already tell. He has a family. That wouldn't end well if he did. My next figure, and you just saw this head again, but yeah, it's same sleepy hair piece. It's the same head that I had on my Ronin blade, as you can see. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, this bow and arrow, you've seen it before. You've seen the pouch before. Nothing on his back, so it's not worth showing. And 3D I use cardstock to make the front of it, so I just traced the minifigure thing onto the rest onto a piece of cardstock, and then I glued it onto there. And so yeah, and this nothing on his left arm or right arm. Painting on his gray arm, and then like a pouch right there. Then a shelf thing, and so yeah. So yeah, Hawkeye. I just told you that he's not gonna die. Now, believe it or not, Black Widow is actually the easiest one to make out of all of these, and I did this figure in less than an hour, like no joke. So yeah, the torso is painted in gloss to match it, and I can't shine it up like that or else you'll see the shine. But yeah, so like that, nothing on the back. The 3 pouches, 3D shoulder, not 3D, gloss shoulder pads, and the tasers. And then I painted on the legs too. You can barely see that. Well, you can actually see that really well. Same thing with the other leg. And then I painted her logo symbol onto the belt. The belt was painted in metallic gunmetal, I believe. And these batons I actually made back in like December, whenever. So because I knew I would be making a Black Widow, I don't know when, and now I know when. So yeah, I don't see her dying in this movie. So next up with War Machine, and this was a very easy figure to make too. Well, it took a couple days, but throughout the time I was working on him, I have had enough photos by all the trailers and TV spots and promo art. So yeah, there was no, and no, I did not put the new Colonel James Roadhead onto here. And what did I use as a base? Well, it was actually one of these Infinity War Machines. So yeah, these are like really good because of the torso. Now, one thing I did want to avoid using was one of these torsos, and I used it for my last War Machine. It didn't turn out well, so that will be in my top 10 worst video if I ever do one again. But so yeah. And so yeah. Anyways, so if this yeah, so that's what it looks like if it's off. I didn't bother to paint the back of this. So yeah. And you've seen these pieces before, they're just red Power Blast pieces. And so yeah. And the hairpiece I think that works for him is the fin hairpiece. So yeah. Anyways, I painted that detail. That's supposed to be a V for the Mark V War Machine. I did a divided symbol on here. I honestly don't know why. Painted a black neck around it. And then painted the legs to be the right. Painted dots on it, like what I did for Iron Man, but with blue dots. So yeah. And so yeah, that was pretty cool. And as I assemble the figure, I'm gonna get these Power Blast pieces out of the way because they're not useful for stuff like this. So yeah, Colonel James Rhodes, not gonna lie, I think his time is up, and I would be really surprised if he made it past this movie. Oh, and yeah, stud shooter. Luckily, that fell right next to me, so yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I painted this onto the helmet because I felt like it. And I painted the outlines in gloss paint, which was actually pretty exciting to do. So yeah. My first stand ever Ant-Man, and one of the greatest helmets that I've ever made, was really easy. There was enough to make him, and one thing though that he did do was keep the back, and I know it's inaccurate, but I didn't have the time. Metallic painted on all over his legs, the chest painted on with its entirety, and yeah. And it was really great seeing that him and War Machine are friends now after the events of Civil War. And I mean, because of Infinity War, no one is no longer divided anymore. So it's nice to see Ant-Man back in action. And the way I made the helmet was I actually sanded down the sides, put layers and layers of cardstock to make the antennas. Painted over the round lenses. Well, I didn't paint the red lenses themselves. I just painted above those so I could make the red lines. So yeah, that's a pretty accurate helmet for Ant-Man. And I think the brown sleepy hair piece, I will be painting this up. It works perfectly for Ant-Man. So this is kind of an odd angle to see, but I just needed to show you. I actually painted, if you can see it, on both of the hands. I painted the button that he usually pushes for both of the hands. So yeah, that's why I had to zoom in this close. And so don't worry, you can still place stuff onto the hand as long as it's not touching it. So yeah, Ant-Man, Scott Lang. Not gonna lie, he just doesn't really care. I use the Ezra Bridger head from Star Wars Rebels, and so yeah. There's Ant-Man. Next up is a figure that you have already seen. So yeah. Oh, and by the way, like what I was saying with Ant-Man, I forgot to mention this, but the helmet, I didn't bother using it. I miss it. We need that front piece. Like, if they were to take these two helmets and put it together. But anyways, Nebula is actually a really big update. I did figure. I painted the rest of the arm on here. Then I painted the other arm to be how it is. I painted the rest of the front of the legs, finally. So yeah, arm, legs. I've made that line going around, and I actually found a head that I could keep on this figure. I didn't continue that because I didn't feel like it. It was too hard already. So yeah. Anyways. So, yeah. This is one of the easiest figures to make at the time. And yeah, now let's get on to what I would consider the best figure in the showcase. Captain Marvel being by far the most detailed figure, well, one of the most detailed figures that I have ever made as a Lego customizer. And just to get them out of the way, the Power Blast pieces I actually painted with metallic blue. So yeah. And you've seen them before, they just fire like that. And just so my LCD doesn't die during this segment, I'm going to remove the other one. Nothing on the back, really. The helmet being a custom Batman helmet. And I took one of the Lego ponytails, but mine was originally in black because I used the one from the Lego the Ninjago ones. So yeah, this painted gold everywhere. One of my best torsos that I have ever made. The legs being like coming in second. So yeah. So yeah, I would say one of the best, if not the best, figure that I've made. And now what I used as a base for this thing was actually this. So you could see getting it to point A to point B, point A to point B. So yeah, that was a really challenging part, because I had to get all the red to be I had to get the red to be the right color. I had to have the yellow to be red. I have had the what do you call it? I have had the yellow on the legs to be red, the red to be... Actually, before I even did that, I paint the red boots first. Then the next thing I did was I made the helmet. I mean, not the helmet, but I painted everything in metallic blue. So yeah, now the helmet, I just painted it the best I could. And what was even less exciting is that this isn't even the right suit that she is wearing in the movie, based on the upcoming Hot Toys, the new Hot Toys figure that's upcoming. But I honestly don't care enough to make another figure. But there will be another Captain Marvel figure, but in her Krieg suit. So yeah, if you want another Captain Marvel figure, you'll see that. And I will make that suit that she will be wearing for Endgame at some point. I will just put that in a solo showcase. Maybe I'll pair it up with the Creed suit. So yeah. And so yeah. And now let's get to the big guy with the gauntlet. Thanos, the guy who killed Star-Lord. Thank God for that. And so yeah, Thanos. First of all, I used one of these as a base. I didn't use the glove. I made my own gauntlet. So yeah. Anyways, the helmet is actually made from cardstock, because I couldn't sculpt it on. I just decided to make it all, and this is much better than my first Thanos. I know the paint scratched off a little, but who cares? It gets covered up by the armor. I sculpted these little pieces right here, sculpted the belt around him, sculpted the boots too, and sculpted these knee pads. And then what I did was sculpt the necessary needs for the gauntlet on the arm. So as you can see, it's sculpted on there. So yeah, and then I sculpted the Infinity Stones out of clay. And then I hit everything with super glue. Was very cautious not making it fall off. And by the way, the back is covered up. And I painted every single detail onto the armor. So yeah, Thanos. Now let's go ahead and wrap up this intensively long showcase. Avengers Endgame is going to be a really changing point, because I've heard that for Phase 4, it won't be nothing like any of these 3 phases. But now it's coming to an end because Captain America might die. Tony might die. Hawkeye, 50-50. Thor is a 50-50. Black Widow is a 50-50 because she's getting her movie next year. Rhodey is a 50-50. Captain Marvel is getting a sequel. Then, Nebula, I think she's gonna die. Maybe. I don't know. Scott Lang, Well, there's gonna be an Ant-Man in the... There's gonna be another Ant-Man movie, I heard. Or what I heard. But people say that during Phase 4, Ant-Man might not get his movie. So, yeah. So, yeah. It's been a great 11 years since 2008. I know I was doing all those showcases for Marvel. I still am. But, yeah. I'm going to see the movie on Sunday. So, yeah. And my next video will actually be with my little nephew. So, and I subscribed to him. He's down in my subscription area. He's in the subscription, but it's called Santi Plays. And so, yeah. Endgame. Didn't think I would get here. I didn't think I would finish these figures. I finished all of these in record time. But yeah. So, that's it for now. The next video will be on Sunday afternoon. Hopefully. I don't know. But yeah. And I'll see you later.